Yo, 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 what's up? You're here for Fresh Convos Season 2. The infamous, these brothers, Poem-cees, the Poem-cees, yo. Go ahead, introduce yourselves, say hello to the people.
What's up, y'all? My name is Patrick Washington, aka Black Picasso, aka Pick. Yeah, that's me.
What's good? The name is Daryl Purry, aka Natural Law DP, and I ran out of AKs at that point. So,
and I'm your host, Joe Villa, aka Joey Too Fresh. What I ask all my guests on the show is, where are you guys from?
See, now, I hope you got the extra credits for your Zoom, because it's a long story. Yo, E, you want to go, or should I run it first?
I'll jump in. I'll jump in real quick because I saw most of the questions, so I can run through it. Hopefully, I came from a country boy and a mid-city girl who got together. I came from Aggie territory, North Carolina A&T.
Wow.
I came from Okinawa, Japan. I was one of the original karate kids, and I was an army brat. So I spent much of my youth there, and I come from U Street. That's where I come from.
There you go.
Yeah, man. I think the simplest way I could put it is I was born in Akron, Ohio. We moved to Minnesota, so I got Midwestern roots. Mm-hmm. Then I moved to Seattle, Washington. That's my West Coast bona fides. Then moved to Washington, D.C. And I'm a dude that moved to Washington, D.C. and never left the diamond. You know, I've lived in every quadrant except for Northeast. And I'm just Daryl from Southeast at this point.
So let's start from the beginning. Do you guys remember what hip hop song you heard that really got you into doing what you're doing now?
Yeah. I was 10. And it was Sugar Hill Gang, but it wasn't Rapper's Delight. It was Eighth Wonder. Clap your hands, everybody. And everybody's clap your hands. 5 girls, clap your hands. 5 guys, clap your hands. And if you're feeling all right and you think you're on, somebody let me know. So that I remember that joint.
Right.
I mean, because I was living in Japan, so I did not get I didn't get music at the same time as everybody. It had to kind of make its way physically over. So it was probably months, post Sugar Hill. And I think, it was like some kid from LA showed up at my elementary school, was like, hey, I'm from LA where all the niggas at. Listen to this. And it started playing, showing off. And that's when I remember hearing like, oh, wow. And it blew my mind.
Wow.
Yo, man. Okay. So there's a difference between the first song that you heard that was rap, and the first song that moved you like that. So, first song was probably, Rapper's Delight, but there was a radio station in Minneapolis called KMOJ, K-Moja. And I used to put on a tape cassette next to the radio and record K-Moj so I could hear, just so I could hear what was happening. Because, the part I didn't mention is, man, I was in the sticks. I grew up in the sticks. So there was nobody walking around with a hip hop record where I grew up initially, right? So, man, I play this tape, man, and the song that blew my mind was Tila Rock. It's yours.
Yes. Oh my
Tila
God.
Rock, It's Yours was the song that made me, it just made me think that rap was, it's like, yo, how are you supposed to be that dope?
Mm-hmm.
But you wanted to try, you know?
Right,
you
right.
wanted to try.
Oh,
I mean,
and
that
the
song
beat.
till this day is like dope. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, the beat.
Like,
Woo! TLAROCK.
I don't know. If it's
If
true,
it's true.
To that joint
I
too.
leave it up to you. Oh my God.
Yeah, that was the first record I ever bought. That was the first physical record I ever like went up to the store and purchased.
And bought. It's
Yeah.
yours. That's dope. That is real dope, man. All right. Let's go back. How did you guys meet?
Oh, shoot, I got this one. So shortcut to the actual moment. I was in school. Somehow he raps a little bit. He can write too. I end up at a poetry reading. So, man, this dude comes in this poetry reading. I've been there maybe
where
once
was it
before.
at?
It's at Heart and Soul, Capitol Hill. Heart and Soul, Capitol Hill, right? You see now, hold up. This is the first time I met you. In your mind, this may not be the first time you met me. So I'm in Heart and Soul, Capitol Hill. My boy Sam, the 7-foot poet, aka Kemet Mawakana, brings me up in there. And I'm on the list, and everything, the list is full. I know what I'm gonna do, yada yada yada. And this dude comes in, and he's just like, he's slapping hands, shaking, kissing babies, hugging women, taking pictures. And I was like, yo, who is this dude, man? So about 20 minutes later, when they immediately put him on the list, because he wasn't signed up, he just showed up late, which was another feature of the brother that I found out later. He shows up, they put him on the list, he gets up there, and at that point I was like, yo, now I know why everybody knows this dude. Yo. And then fast forward to about a week or so later, and we dapped. But we didn't really, it wasn't like, like I said, he was politicking. He was shaking hands, kissing babies, selling Amway. He was doing everything. And I was like, yo, about a week later, whatchamacallit, down, you about to sell what? Bar None? Is that what you got to sell?
Bar None.
Go ahead.
Bar None.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then I show up at Bar None. It's always packed, you know what I mean? It was
Bar None.
I don't know if it was packed or not. It wasn't packed.
Just opened.
Okay. But it was a cool spot, real cool. I don't know who was spinning. But it was the host was calling up folks. I went up, I was probably on my seat. Man, I'm not gonna lie. All right. I was hot shit at the time. Okay. I was hot. I was in my element. So yeah, I did my thing. And then this dude gets up and was like all smooth and shit. And then, it was like I can't even remember when his conversation, an introduction melded into the piece. So he just started talking, and then he just like immediately just went into this piece. And then the piece itself wasn't quite a poem. Do you know what I mean? So it was like, it was something I can't say I ever heard delivered like that before. It was a poem, but it wasn't, you know what I mean? It was a rhyme, but it wasn't. It was just, he kind of just definitely just kind of walked that line, cool as shit, and then just walked off the stage like he didn't just kill it. So, and at that point, we kind of approached each other afterwards like, yo, I see you,
Yeah.
I see you.
Yeah, that was okay, cool, man. I'm not gonna have to try to kill this dude like a Highlander, like they don't want.
Let's talk about the infamous Generation 2000.
Yo, that was the start.
Let's talk about it. Let's so how did this all happen? And
okay,
all right.
Well, okay, so Generation 2000 was one of several collectives that formed around this time. We're talking late 90s, mid to late 90s. Mm-hmm. And the focus, the nexus, if you will, was this cafe up in Georgetown, 26 and P Street,
right?
Called It's Your Mug, right? Sister named Tony Asante Lightfoot was the host. She ran it like like a finely oiled machine, and it was church. It was a very reverent, holy place for poets to go. There were rules. You didn't walk in or out while somebody was speaking, right? You had to damn near hold up your finger like you're in church, and kind of if you were going to get out. It was just such a wonderful place. And there were a lot of poets who kind of created these collectives at the time. So Tony Asante had her group, and they were called the Modern Urban Griots, MUG, which kind of went with the mug, right? So they were kind of like the mug representatives for It's Your Mug. And then there were other groups. There was a group called
Vagabond
Poets. That was spearheaded by Antonio.
Yeah, Eric Antonio, Amarliano Burnett.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and so they had that crew. There was a Collective Voices, like some older seasoned pilfs. Right. There were some pilfs, and the Black Rooster Collective. Some brothers who were really respected. DJ Renegade, Kenny Carroll,
Brian Gilmore.
Oh,
wait. Brian, no. Gary Lilly. But yo, you got to mention 8 Rock, the 8 Rock cats too.
Right. Yeah, the It's Your Mug and 8 Rock were kind of out at the same time. Okay. And anyway, I say all that to say, so I showed up at the Mug, and the DP and I never went to the Mug really at the same time, but we both kind of stepped foot in there here and there, kind of made ourselves known. And then, while I'm there and make friends with other poets, there's a gentleman named Charles McCain, who I came really tight with. And it was kind of like searching for some like-minded individuals, right? Because we're walking in, we're kind of like of a different aesthetic. I feel like when we walked in, me personally, I'll just speak for myself, I felt like an unwashed heathen amongst these really dedicated poets. I mean, they wrote a poem, went back and rewrote the poem, went back and edited. You know what I mean? They were really dedicating themselves to the craft, and I wasn't in. I was very much off the top of my head. Whatever I'm in at the moment is what I'm meant to say, and then it's in the universe, and I'm moving on to the next line. So I didn't really feel like I connected with them initially. Right. It took some time. So myself, I found these brothers. And I think that's when it was kind of you can jump in, DP.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so, this dude named Basim, I can't remember Basim's last name, but I got to give him credit because he created the name. He came up with the group. It was Patrick. It was myself. It was Charles McCain. It was Sam Jefferson. And it was Abdul Malik. And
Abdul Malik.
Yes. So
So he. I'm sorry, let me cut you off. He kind of pulled like a Nick Fury and kind of like created. He kind of pulled these, different heroes together and kind of made his own group.
Right. And So we toured. 2 things happened. Basim bounced within 2 months. I want to say, if not earlier, and was like kind of still unclear to me why he bounced, but he was like, I'm on to the next. we kept going. And we kept going in that iteration for a minute, all dudes, right? You know, then, there was a lineup change when Malik, he stepped out, he got caught up in some life stuff. And we recruited our Amazon sisters, right? This is Tiffany Thompson, and Lisa Pegram. And for that iteration, man, we toured colleges and universities pretty much everywhere but the West Coast, you know. And that was the it was great because you had all the different styles. It was we kind of were like a nice reading in one unit, where you had the dedicated writing craftsmen who, like Patrick said, write, rewrite, etc. We had the cadence masters, we had comedians pretty much. I mean, it was like funny poems, sad poems, girl poems, guy poems, vibe this vibe, so it worked out, man. We were like, we were like a click away. There was no viral to go, unfortunately. Right. But we had a nice little run.
Yeah. Like my experience watching you guys not at Mangoes. I remember you guys performed at Mangoes and it blew my mind. Went back to the crew. It was like, yo, you gotta go to Mangoes to see Generation 2000s. They killed it.
But let me jump in and just say that, that time was very interesting because as once again, life stuff happens and the crew began to kind of go their separate ways, right? But he and I, we kind of stuck together. We had our chemistry, so we just kept going. Remain friends with everybody for the most part, but we kept vibing. I remember our I don't know what to call it. But there was a moment when we really connected outside of the group, and it was when we were approached by this MC named Aaron Henry. Yeah, and Aaron Henry was like, "Yo, and we were cool with Aaron, from the ciphers, and from doing, watching Freestyle Union and working with them, and over the years, and he was like, "Yo, I got this recorded project. I want y'all to intro me. I want you to, set me up. Y'all toss it up, I knock it out the park." And we started performing with him and came out with a really, nice project.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah. And that's when I realized we were on a connection.
Yeah, definitely. That's a connection right there. But we were connected like even before that, like, just hanging out at the spots. At the different spots, you were at the Freestyle Union sessions. You were at It's Your Mug. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there was a lot of inspiration to go around. You know what I'm saying? Even for MCs, we would watch the poets and be like, "Yo, this is what we need to do. Like, this is what we need to like there was a lot of inspiration going on throughout, like, it wasn't just like strictly hip hop. It was just everything. And I'm happy that Tony Lightfoot, like, she accepted everybody.
Right.
Even to go up. Like my brother would just rhyme up there and she'd love it, like, and then he would like, after a few sessions over at It's Your Mug, I mean, his writing just changed. More poetical and stuff, so it was dope. Like, and
hey man, you ever think about what a blessing it was, man, that we had like oracles of the scene that guided people on their path, man? And I'm speaking specifically the two Tonys, man, and they both named Tony Blackman, Tony Asante Lightfoot are the oracles, man. And just the fact, like you said, we could swing through any spot not only did they give us like a set of guidelines, like almost like protocols for how not to be whack.
Right.
But the way they ran sets and the way they held down spots probably led us to, you know, basically shape the way we held down our spots, you know, because, you know, after, well, hold up. You said, how did the Poem-cees meet? It's not complete until I finish off how we met our DJ, right?
Right.
We're at the University of Maryland. We're at this show. It's Cool Kim, Sonia Sohn, who was on The Wire. Man, and I forget who else was there, but it's a show out of University of Maryland. I want to say we were on the bill as well. And we meet this excited, super Sicebox DJ kid who was going to school out in Maryland. And for some reason, it just stuck. Hey, my name's Roman. Yo, that's dope. Everything you guys have is awesome. You know, it's like meeting a real life a cartoon character, man. Roman was just pure energy, you know? So, yeah, we had the idea. I don't know. I pitched it to Patrick like, yo, man, you like Stetson Sonic, right? Yeah, I like Stetson Sonic. I was like, I said, dude, we should form a band. Not just I mean, yeah, we could do stuff like we do, but yeah, we should have like all of them. We should have, yo, duo MCs, the Run DMC trio format, two MCs and a DJ, and then, yo, a band format. But we got to have the DJ as one of the instruments in the band. And we wound up doing all of that. And then we wound up holding down our set at the Copper House. This is around the same time you guys were holding down your set at Nyala. And yo, man, I mean, it was pure, vibrant energy. And man, without those oracles leading us in that direction, man, I'm not sure we would have held it down with that, you know, community spirit, with that, like, yo, man, this is a place, man, where you could grow, you could, you know.
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, DJ Stylist, that's who Rome is, and he's part of the Poem-cees as well. He worked with Hibernation with Cyrus and them.
Oh yeah.
It's like, you know, like he was doing it, like, you know, as far as DJing for other groups and stuff like that. But it was dope how y'all connected. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just, of course, it's bound to happen, you know?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We're all in the same circle.
Yeah, yeah. He was a big connector for a lot of us, because he was, you know, he was such a great important element for a lot of groups. You know what I mean? It wasn't not just us.
Right.
You know? Yeah.
So who came up with the name?
Yeah, you know, I would like to say that I'd like to say that it was me. And but I mean, I want to say also it's very, very likely, because we did this a lot. We still kind of had the same eye, you know, and so we may have said it like pretty much around the same time, you know, like it could have been one of those things where somebody says, you know, yeah, the poet and it just, somebody just blurred it together, and then boom, that's what it was. But I mean, you know, it was pretty obvious that's what we were going to do. I don't care what people think about the name, you know, it's
man, that the way you even spell it is dope.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It
just makes sense. When you see it, it's just like, yo.
Yeah. Oh, hey, you know what doesn't make sense is when customer service is asking me, could you tell me your email? And I or they're like, is your email Poem-cees? Poem-cees? I'm like, yeah, Poem-cees. You know. So but yeah, man, thank you. It's yeah, you know, amazingly, you know, we still got the URL, we still got the website.
Right.
You know,
how many albums have you worked together as Poem-cees?
Oof. All right, IOU Street, that's number one. Paranoia, that's number two. Paranoia was a side project. You know, we did our first record was an EP. We had the wonderful Bacon Soda, Beth Fomacong, formerly FKA Fomacong on the on it, and you know, and then Paranoia was like around the time of the DC Sniper. When people, you know.
Yeah. Post 9/11, right after
9/11, right?
Yo, it was post 9/11. It was Bush in office. It was DC Sniper, and that's all Patrick's idea. Where he was like, "Yo, man, you ever know?" You know, he basically pointed out that we were paranoid based on, you know, our lyrics. Our lyricism skewed towards paranoia, apparently. So, yeah, we did it. We ended up doing this album. W. Ellington Felton's on this record. It's a grip of people on the record. Then, and we got the SPP Waxworks series. This was a collective that we formed with SPP is Storm, Priest, and Poem-cees. We did this record. We released 2 vinyl singles, and then an album. A joint album, and kind of did some shows off of that. And then the last full recording that we released was called Everything You Always Wanted. So yeah, we got 4. We got 4 in the chamber, 4, and then we got 1. We got about 18 unfinished projects. That will remain unfinished because we'll catch fire on something new and do that.
Yo, like, who did the production for you guys? Like, who did you work with?
Okay, we worked with Kokai. We worked with Apex. We worked with Odyssey.
We worked with Theory.
We worked with Theory a lot. Theory, man, Infinite Loop. We definitely worked with Cyrus. Cyrus is one of the great joys and great pains of coming together to get a thing out, man. Because I tell you, man, Cyrus, you want your partner to look at you and to hold on to you as tightly as Cyrus holds on to a beat before he says it's okay and it's finished.
Okay, I'm gonna have to talk to Cyrus. After this joint.
You want that kind of like I'm never gonna let you go. You know, man. We worked with. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I mean, we can't forget the band itself. G-Cam, the same band that backed us up on stage, had an incredible production team, made for a great production team themselves.
That's dope.
Stylists produced joints. Hold up, check this out. Our band, we lost our band at one point. Because we're doing shows, the band is catching wreck, and all of a sudden, man, cats start sniffing around the band. We're like, man, that's our band. But then, so the first cat to gaffle us for our band was Black Indian.
Oh, okay.
Check it out. B.I. was out in Vegas doing something, and so he was like, I want you guys to come out, record my album, it was his follow-up to his first album. So next thing you know, bam. Half the band bolts. They go out west. They're out with Bi, that's a whole nother lengthy story, right? But then they come back. We start rocking again, and then we freaking now the next set of people I'm okay with. I was like, all right, man, dude, if you're gonna leave and go play with Snoop, then cool. I can understand that. So
right. Or Mariah Carey.
Right. He left. He went out with Mariah Carey. He went out with Snoop. And then our drummer Biscuit is basically the drummer for every live band in Washington D.C. at this point. So it's all love, man. I see cats periodically And yeah, I seen.
I thought
was watching.
Black Indian had Live Society at one time, but
well, he did. But this is way after that. This is like Black had gone out to Vegas for, I want to say, there's probably some kind of a relationship involved. But he was out there doing work and doing some music and getting a lot of tattoos. And, vibing in Vegas and getting free tattoos sounded great to the band. So they ended up going, it was like, shoot, this dude's going to bring us out and make some records, needless to say, man, it was all love. This
is a great story.
Yo, everybody.
It's a great story, man.
Yeah, our band played.
I feel bad at the same time, but then, it's just like Black Indian, really, like.
Oh man, yeah, I'll tell you, man. It's Josh is that dude that man, he's his own special kind of force. I gotta say, he's one of the more unique people that I've ever met. And it was no love lost. It's certainly not at this point, It was never anything like, it was really more like, guess we gotta go find a new keyboard player and a new drummer, Fortunately, DC was super dope like that, and we could work. We found cats always. Yeah, man. So yeah, we had the multi-format thing. We could tour a poetry circuit. We could tour, a DJ circuit. Yeah, we could pitch a show to a college like, yo, man. Well, okay, you take it's going to be two MCs, one DJ, a 3-piece band. That's going to cost you. Oh, we don't have the budget for that. Oh, well, yeah, we can do two MCs and a DJ. You can get the 2 MCs for that price.
Right. Why not?
Right. Yeah. We were able to fit into any format, any space.
Yeah, any room, really.
Let's talk about your U Street memories.
Yeah. Go, P. You got it.
I'll change the names to protect the innocent. We've aside from State of the Union, we all love that, right? We remember just those wonderful warm nights when you're just you're standing out at the corner of 14th and U. And the music is kind of thumping, right. From coming out of state, and you can watch people coming in and out, but it's like they'll go in fresh, but they're coming out sweaty.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. You don't walk out of state the same way you walked in.
Yeah.
Next door at
Republic
Gardens. Yeah, you can walk in fresh as a daisy and walk out the same way. Probably drunk, but yeah. I mean, just that energy. Takes I don't know what Black Broadway looked like back in the the early 1900s, but I know I feel like it was the same energy. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure. It was like that. The Face. I don't know if anybody remembers Face. Face, the poet.
Yeah,
he was always.
I remember Face.
The poet. Yeah, man. He embodies U Street. He embodies, not just the artistry, but just the realness and the the struggle that was evident. Behind the art.
Man, so it was one of those situations where, if you really think about it and look back on it, man, they were tearing up the streets when we first got up there to like connect the metro. Like the metro didn't even connect from up there to points further north to like. I can't even remember. Oh, like Fort Totten. I think they were building the metro between like U Street and Fort Totten. So, I mean, my initial memory, I found U Street. I was a valet parker walking home from my job. I used to live at 11th and Girard. Northwest. And walking home from work one day, I'm walking and I hear Electric Relaxation playing in the distance. And I was like, yo, who? And I keep walking. And that's the first time I ever saw State, right? It stated just open. And my man's Courtney Tolliver was throwing this party, and he had a DJ who was, clearly, with it and was playing, dope tunes. So, yeah, it was a place you could go to with no plans, because it was a plan unto itself, right? You go to U Street, like just knowing, like, all right, if I don't have a plan, let's say, there's a set at Mango's. Oh, there's a set at Bar None. Oh, there's somebody playing in State. Maybe, maybe not. It was really more like, yo, I'm gonna just go up in that area and something's gonna happen.
Something's popping. Right, yeah. Right. At the very least, you can go over to Kaffa House, and just listen to Midnight Band, just deliver some.
Oh my God. I mean, there was the reggae scene. Right. There was still a punk scene. I remember one time rolling up into Velvet Lounge and watching one of the one of the earlier incarnations of Miscellaneous Flux, right? Watching Rashad and Tim, and this is when Tim's brother was still playing in the band. Dave was playing drums. This is around the time of that Megahertz recording, man. You talk to those dudes, ask them whether their Megahertz was killing. Ben Tyree on guitar.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, just that. I mean, honestly, I knew I could run into the Amphbns and figure out what was happening. I knew I could run into all walks of life, man. But one of my favorite things about it is that, speaking of the aforementioned of Republic Gardens, because that really kind of blew up the spot. Like, it was an underground block, and then Republic opened up, and suddenly it was like, the place to be seen, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there were always, like, finely dressed, high heel girls going into Republic Gardens and sort of disdainfully walking past State. Right. And I could think of at least 10 occasions where the line's too long at Republic and they're outside. She would go home. I got dressed up. It's one of them. You overhear the whole conversation. Yo, you want to go in there? Wait, in there? Yeah. I don't know. It looks dark in there.
In there?
So they're like looking at State like this. And then, just like Patrick said, man, they go in looking fresh, boy. They come out with sopping, with a sheen of sweat. And then about a week later, you like look and it's like, that's she came for Fashion Week 2 weeks ago. Now she's dressed down, ready to get busy. Come into State, listen to some good hip hop, go in the back, listen to some good house.
Yeah.
See,
State had it all. They didn't know.
Where's Rory from? Pete, where's Rory from? New Zealand?
Rory's from Australia.
Australia.
Yes.
Yeah. Dude just hit up Patrick like this week. Was that this week or last week?
Yeah, this week.
Yeah. This dude on Facebook is like, he has like maybe one of the vaguest question I've ever heard. But he said, man, he said, if anyone could help me find this song, it was the most soulful, most instrumentally eclectic house music, deep soul song that I've ever heard in my life. If somebody could help me find it. And that was it. I was like, hey, man, we know people who got crates. They got crates of tunes like that, man. And it was love, man, because it immediately brought back memories of like Sam the Man Burns, rest in peace, spinning in that back room. And like, I mean, here's this dude, you know, Australian born. He may be living in New York, or he may be back over there. I'm not sure. But yo,
I think he's back. I think he's back in Australia. Yeah.
Yo, this
he was
dude
like, yo,
has,
it's been 30 years.
Yes, he has a lifelong memory where one of the best dance music experiences of his life was on U Street.
See?
This week, hit Patrick up, like, yo, help me find this song. I was like, dude, how about listen to this like 50-hour Sam Burns house music tribute, and by 2025, yo, you should probably have the answer.
See, that's what's up with U Street. U Street was the hub. It was like, you know, if you didn't know what was going on, there was something going on. You know what I mean? That's a dope picture. That's a very dope picture. I wish I was there for that.
Oh, is that you got the picture up?
Yeah.
The great day.
Really dope.
The great day, you know. That was when, you know, the dancers, the DJs, the poets, the thought leaders, you know, just the activists, man.
Man, the amount of people that didn't make it into that picture is unfortunate, man. Like you said, man, you should be in that picture, Joe. Straight up.
Yeah.
Well, due to like leaving the area, it's just like, you know, but yeah, my spirit was there.
No doubt. No doubt. Yeah.
Like,
we had to settle for Ta-Nehisi Coates. You know, we had to, you know, we got Ta-Nehisi to fill in for you. You know what? It's like it's almost like it's like a Raucous Records type situation without anybody ever busting through to become, you know, the most deaf or the Talib Kweli in terms of like my market breakthrough. You know, we talked about that. That's the DC thing, man, when, you know, everybody's wearing multiple hats, man, you know, and everybody's doing it themselves, but like the outlets aren't really there, and I mean, look, I'm definitely not going to blame it on go-go. You know, there's enough people that can blame it on go-go.
Right.
It's not a blame thing. It's just, man, the youth music at the time was still not quite hip hop. So, you know, they were playing a lot of local music on the radio. Just the local music was not, you know, it just wasn't hip hop, you know, for the most part, you know. Shout out to Question Mark Asylum for breaking through, you know. But yeah, man, it's thank God, you know, you got Priest still smashing, you know. And, you know, the stories, I would say the story's not done, you know. You know, the way I've described it is, yo, just because you're not necessarily going to play in the NBA doesn't mean that you can't like play ball at a very high level. You know, there's a lot of gymnasiums with very high caliber runs going on that are not the NBA, right? So that's the way it is with hip hop, man, to me. Yo, I have a seasoned mental perspective and an idea as to, like, you know, how to operate still, maybe better than ever before, you know. So, you know, and it's easier to record. So yeah, man. I mean, I do encourage.
Technology back then wasn't there for us.
Oh, good Lord!
You imagine?
Think about the magic. Hold on. Think about the magic of HL, freaking doing crazy stuff like he turned his mixer into a telephone or something. Yo, man, guess was Trevor. The stuff Trevor Goodchild was doing, man, was it's like, yeah. Oh, I do want to say, I do believe, and you know, a lot of people see, I gotta be very careful how I say this, man, because this would be similar to saying you don't think Beyonce is the greatest singer of all time, right? But what I want to say is, yeah, I think Cyrus and Trevor were that Dilla swing in another part of the country at a different time that a lot of people just don't know about, man. But yo, there's absolutely, yo, they had that unquantized swing that everybody fell in love with for Dilla. And I'm not saying, yo, they came before. I'm just saying, you know, whoever, it is what it is, man. Dilla is at the pinnacle where he should be. But man, tip your cap. There were people, man, that you don't know about who were smashing, you know, around that time as well. Yeah. Hold up. Check this out. Yo, here's how memorable y'all were as a crew and as a vibe, man. Yo, so you had who's this freestyle? This, yo, John Moon.
Right. I was about to say.
Yo, you had John Moon style. You had, yo, Pete, do the Aaron Henry. Yo, you had Who Could Come Through, drop the hot. Yo, you had D-Mock.
D-Mock, wow.
D-Mock, yo, everybody had like, everybody had like a little like physical like sort of angle to their thing, man. Philly had his Philly were kind of like, kind of like a little not fall back, but yo, just like, yo, when he's freestyling, you see him like, you know, just like transmitting, pulling the words. Yo, it was so, yo, everybody, that was the best part is yo, man, it was a lot of people and nobody was overly trying to like, yo, I'm trying to sound like this person. I'm trying, yo, man, Seed did not sound like anybody. Randy, Rub DMC did not sound like anybody, man. You know, and then, you know, across the board, yo, Storm, Sub-Z, Kokai, Priest. I mean, yo, it was bonkers, man. It was bonkers. Yo, Rashad, nobody sounds like Rashad to this day. Nobody, man.
Boogeyman Ghost.
Boogeyman Ghost. Nobody sounds like Ghost, man.
Right.
Just to speaking of, you know, the environment and the tone setters and whatnot, man. Shout out to 3LG.
3LG,
you know?
Yes.
I mean, yo, shout out to Head Rock, man. Yo, shout out to yo, Mao. Yeah, man, look, bottom line is there were so many angles and different looks. And it, like I said, man, you got crews. I mean, yo, it's like 10 different crews, and nobody even in the crew sounds like each other, and none of the crews sound like each other. So, I mean, yeah, man, like you said, it was, I mean, the caliber was high. Yo, I recall 98, I think it was 98. Remember 88 hip hop?
Right.
Yo, 88 hip hop, man.
Right. Priest,
Storm, Kokai, and Sub-Z went up and battled. It was Poison Pen. It was Quest the Mad Lad. It was yeah, I'm forgetting the rest of the cats that were up there, but it was one of those situations where, you know, it was a whole bunch of, yo, it was very New Yorked out. Cats was, oh, DC, where you gonna start banging on pots and pans, yo? And yo, man, they came out, yo, Priest came out the box so hard on Quest the Mad Lad that oh my God. Oh, Breeze Ever Flowing.
Yes.
Right. You know, and yo, it was one of those deals where like everywhere we went, yo, we went to the New Eureka, all of us. I've been to the New Eureka with poets, with rappers, and I mean, yo, it was cool. Everywhere you went, you felt pretty comfortable, man. Yo, we got sharp instruments, man. So
yo, what's dope is like everything is in full circle because those cats they battled. We moved up. Me and Philly moved up to New York with Trevor, and we met them. We started the lifeline there, and that's how we all connected. Because for some reason, like Poison Pen's one of our biggest friends, like Pumpkinhead as well.
Yeah.
Never flowing. All those stronghold cats that were
Yeah.
battling. We met and they took us under their wing. DP, let me ask you. So when did you start playing bass?
All right. Well, okay, first off, I play more so guitar, more so 6-string guitar than 4-string bass, right? Okay. So yeah, man, it was I had a guitar my older brother had a guitar that he left to dust, and I started fooling around with it. And I learned like what they call the cowboy chords, the chords down at the end of the neck, right? Mm-hmm. And then I, then hip hop came, and I had no use for guitars for, a couple decades, right? Fast forward, waiting for some CDs to burn up at the studio, start diddling around on a guitar, like, and engineer that we worked with is like, oh, shoot, he takes a bass down. Next thing you know, me and him are playing, and we didn't think anything of it until one day we're waiting for some CDs to burn, and ASHRAM from Unspoken Herd, and Boondocks theme, et cetera, et cetera. ASHRAM comes through to pick up some masters or something, right? Me and Bill, Bill lets him in, picks the bass back up again, and we start playing. We're sitting there playing, we're talking and playing. And, I remember Gabe was like, yo, what's up with this, man? What are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? How long you been doing it? It's like, we were kind of both like, well, we don't really play. He was like, dude, you're playing. You are playing. So the long and short is first band I was in was my homegirl, Lisa Pegram. She pulled me in when her guitar player had an emotional situation that he ran from, where, I think his wife was pressing him out. He was at a rehearsal one day and was like, I can't stay. I live too far away. I live in Virginia. I can't make practice. I'm out. And he bolted. Wow. And I used to go and ear hustle this dude at practice and try and pick up some things. So Lisa is like, yo, D, you want to play? I got a show coming up in 3 weeks. I was like, I don't play. She was like, dude, I watch you every practice sitting over there, ear hustling, learning the songs. You could play. And so, boom, that was the first group. The engineer, DJ D Salam, my boy, Big Dollar Bill Vaughn, he came into the band as the bass player. I played with Kokai for X amount of years. We played a couple festivals in France. Mm-hmm. We played variety of spots in New York, man. Highline Ballroom, BB King's, etc. And then Coke's partner, Sub Z, T, Terrence Nicholson, he's like, this rock grid thing that I wanted to do. Our other guru, Ezra Greer, he's like, yo, D, go over there and get T straight. Y'all play together. Y'all need to get up. And that's what happened. So I've been playing more guitar than holding mics for the last, almost 10 years now, man. So it's been a blessing, man. Different vibe.
Did you even expect that? Did you know that was gonna happen?
Dude, I'm living my dream of being in a garage band. You think oh man, I wish I would have taken up whatever, surfing. Right. I wish I would have, nah. I was always like, I always wish I had learned to play guitar. It would have been fun to be in a band. I was an awesome air guitar player, but thank God for YouTube. Thank God for
yes, that is awesome. Yeah. That is great. So now you're an instrumentalist.
I mean, it can't hurt, right? It can't hurt.
Of course not. That is very dope. I mean, hopefully our listeners will get inspired by this. You can be an MC, you can be a poet.
Speaking of the connectivity, this is the Thalo Blue record. The rock band is Thalo Blue. Mm-hmm. All of the drawings on here are by Terrence Nicholson, aka Sub Z of Opus Amphbns.
Right.
And all of the design was done by Carl Walker, aka Kokai of Opus Akabin. It's still in the family. Like all of this is very natural, us talking to you right now, and shoot, just us watching the content. When you guys, when you became the catalyst for like a concerted like effort to move Amphbns forward again, to reactivate that, I've been watching. I'm watching.
It was time, definitely time, because I wanted to put a face to what Odyssey was shouting out, to what Kev Brown was shouting out. They would shout us out in interviews and be like, okay, so who are these people and why are they mentioned? And I felt like we have enough music. Well, yeah, we have so much music recorded, like why not put it out? Like,
I had an idea a while ago when I was watching Netflix, probably a year ago, when it was like, you're binging, and it was comedians and coffee. What's it called? Comedians and cars.
Right.
And I was like, I wish somebody needs to do a U Street or a poet version of that, And I called DP, and I was like, this would be so cool, And just like always, we have these great ideas. It's like, oh, wow, that would be really dope. Oh, look, something shiny, So we all, but I'm glad to see that somebody picked up, and created their own,
right.
outlet. Yeah.
I mean, we owe it to DC, the DMV area. We owe it, because, when we do put it out, it's gonna get that shine. Like, the West Coast did it. They did it with The Good Life. With it was Freestyle Fellowship, Medusa, and all them. They had what we had on U Street, and they took all the clippings and stuff together and then did a documentary. Now, no one would have known about that unless they were there.
Right.
Just like how we feel like, the whole U Street scene, it has to be told. It just has to be. Like, people all over, like, now can like see, like, yes, there was hip hop in DC. There was go-go in DC, of course, but there was definitely hip hop in DC.
Yeah.
Dope. It was just dope. And the poetry scene as well, man. That's crazy, man. So have you, okay, let me ask this. Have you checked out what's going on now? As far as, is there a poetry scene out there? Like, have you seen like a younger version of it? And what are your thoughts?
There is a poetry scene. I'm very much locked into the youth poets. That has been my mission for the past 10, going on 15 years now. Kind of cultivating young voices. So I'm hip to the young cats. Now, as far as those who are out there grinding right now, I don't really have a finger on the pulse.
Mm-hmm.
I know my students who I had 15 years ago who are kind of out there now making their mark, like Pages, Matam, Janahi, her real name Angela Abadir. She's like out doing TED Talks now. Malachi Bird, aka Malpractice. So there are some young poets in their early 20s going into their 30s who are definitely doing their thing. I just don't know a lot of them.
What? Nah, it's all right. It's all right.
Yeah, I mean, when I think about it, the thing I'm most curious about when it comes to DC hip hop, or let's say hip hop related to DC, because I mean, there's dope people out there. There's people doing dope things,
Right.
I like what Authentic does, you know. I like what Gold Link does, man. Yo, there's a band, there's a group. They're not a hip hop group, man. April and Vista is something that everybody should be listening to, period. I mean, if you are like a flying lotus, you know, if that's the kind of vibe, you know, that you could find yourself building with, man, yo, April and Vista, you know, look them up. But the thing I'm most curious about is Corday, man. You know, YBN Corday is a cat that, you know, I'm like, what's his lineage? You know, I'm curious about it. You know, I'm not one of these, I'm not a dude who really feels like, I'm not itching for props at this point. I'm very comfortable with what I did. I feel like I have a good grasp on what I did, what we did. And I wish like one of us had blown to the stratosphere and pulled like 10 or 11 others up, like a Houston scene blew up, you know, or like you know, a Florida scene blew up, or yeah, sure, I wish that, but I have no doubts about the caliber of what we did, you know. But the kid Corday, the first, you know, one of the first couple times I heard him, I was like, yo, man, it's very clear, man, that somebody you know, influence, you know, yo, this dude has a connection to you know, he could rhyme like a dude of now, he could rhyme like a dude of yore, of days of yore, you know. So I shout out to YBN Corday, you know, just for being you know, to me, like, you know, positive representation of you know, young cat who could rap, you know, as opposed to like, you know, young cat expressing pain, depression, pills, and the strongest weed on planet Earth. I mean, a lot of hip hop for me, man. One time I was riding, listening, I was like, yo, I you know, SoundCloud does it to me every time. I walk away from SoundCloud 9 times out of 10 saying, no, hip hop is depressed. Like, hip hop needs some therapy, man. Cats be sounding like, yo, man, it's like Blade Runner. It's like a bleak landscape of pills, drugs, and death and misery in a lot of cats' music, you know. So, you know, when a dude pops up, you know, and they got like a little pep to their thing, man, I appreciate that, man. So,
nah, that's real dope. That's a real dope perspective, actually. So the pandemic has affected us in like different ways. It could be a curse and a blessing. You can use it this time as a curse or a blessing. You know what I'm saying? So what's keeping you guys busy?
man. You got it? Shoot.
Yeah, I mean, technically nothing should be keeping me busy right now. You know, I am enjoying sleeping a lot longer. I'm enjoying sleeping more than 4 hours at a time right now with my newly retired status. But yeah, I'm being creative. I'm trying to get a gentleman artist lifestyle where I wake up, you know, early. I get some writing done, send some emails out, then I go back to sleep. You know, I'm working, doing what I want to do now. So I've taken on a job at a nonprofit, Words Beats and Life, right? And
yo, so shout out to Mozzie.
Yeah, shout out to Maisie Mufasa. Thank you for you know, for giving me a chance. And yeah. So, you know, I'm kind of still, like I said, you know, helping, you know, these young poets find their voices. And I've crafted the Youth Poet Laureate program for well, the DMV area right now is what I'm overseeing. So that's keeping me busy.
That's real dope. How about you, DP?
Well, you know, the rock band Phalo Blue has, you know, we, you know, the pandemic has affected us. You know, we go on surges of, you know, gigs and surges of, you know, it's a slow band to record, you know, we don't drop a lot quickly. So we were at the point of like, yo, it's about time to record, bam, pandemic hit. So, you know, guys have been shedding a little bit, you know, trying to, you know, work up a bit more, you know, capability on the instruments. Mm-hmm. Yo, I got a machine, Native Instruments machine, and a computer, and so beats are about to become, and just recording at home. What really happened is I had the idea, because I got kids, right? I got 3 daughters, and you know, I got a drum set, I got a bass, I got a guitar, I got multiple guitars, a little keyboard. And one day I just was like, go in the basement, get on the drums, get on this, yo. And so it struck me, I could have a Partridge Family. See, I could have a family band situation on my hand, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I'm enjoying the whole notion of like, all right, man, you know, my kids are already like, you know, the weird musical taste kids at their respective schools, you know. Right. You got little kids walking around, you know, yo, can you play a song, Dylan? Yeah, I'd like to play this song by Mastodon. It's called Blood and Thunder, you know. And then they play, you know, progressive metal. And, you know, the other kids are looking at them like, then they, you know, even when they dial it back, it's like, well, I'm going to play this Santa Gold. And their classmates are like, what's the Santa Gold? You know, so, yeah, man, I'm just trying to spread, like Patrick said, man. Develop the lifestyle habits that move your artistic abilities forward, you know.
Right.
You know, so I got a deep notepad of songs and song ideas and phrases and whatnot that we're supposed to deploy at some point. Yo, shout out to Artemis, man. I swear to God, you know, yo, shout out to the Fifth L. I won't even say it. But, you know, yeah, we're properly shamed. And yeah, I should send you that thing, but I'm going to wait just a little bit longer.
Okay.
Okay. Yo, but yeah, man, yo, just trying to keep the juices going by working on things that I'm weak at, and then like working on things that I'm strong at. You know, right, it's a little bit of both, man. You don't want to fall off, and you want to grow.
That is great. You know, because we have nothing but time now, right?
Here's the thing about this pandemic, and I'm talking about my thoughts, but I say this to you, I say it to Patrick and whoever else might be paying attention, man. Don't wait for the pandemic to end to like prepare to do something. Like now is the time to be preparing. You know, don't wait for the pandemic to end to start like trying to get in shape. Yo, matter of fact, they probably should have said, yo, while you like sheltering in place and staying at home, yo, do some jumping jacks or jump rope, or like, you know, do something, break a sweat every now and then, you know. Don't wait to like, oh, I'm gonna start doing this. I'm gonna start, yo, I can't yet. The only thing you gotta wait for maybe is a lot of travel, right? Because there's restrictions, a little bit of restrictions and limitations, but man, plan, proceed, build, push-ups, yo, get lighter, stronger, and more flexible at the very least, you know. And yeah, man, you know, now is the time to mash, yo.
That's a great.
It is.
That's some gems you just dropped, like right there. Like people just need to wake up, being like, okay, use this time wisely. Use the time that you didn't have time before to do, you know. So it's like I said, it's like a blessing to some. You guys miss performing?
Yo, Patrick's gonna laugh when I say this. You know, because you know, short answer is yeah. I really do.
Okay, let me make this simple. You guys miss performing together?
That's what I'm talking about.
Right,
Patrick asked me to, he asked me to do this event. I think it was at Joe's Movement Emporium, in Mount Rainier, Maryland. And I couldn't swing it. I thought I could swing it. I kind of hedged, and it turns out that was the last time I've had a performance opportunity, with my dude, during this era, man. So, one of the things that, I know this dude, and this dude knows me. We got good timing. Always had it.
Mm-hmm.
It was something that we worked on. Like, we worked on our craft, right? But we had a good foundation from the beginning. And, I really think about this next batch of songs a lot, man. I miss performing because I thought of ways of getting better. And there's so like we haven't had a chance to try it out yet, so I'm looking forward to that. So you
guys are gonna record again. That's basically what you're saying.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Poem-cees album.
Yeah,
that's great.
Absolutely. It may be like, I think we are we're the EP guys. I think you're gonna see like little vignettes, whether it be topical or whether it just be like all on a certain vibe. For years we were like, we got to do a double time album, like all now everybody kind of raps like that, to a certain degree. So it's like, we'll come up with something else, but there's no shortage of ideas or opportunities of people to work with, etc. So definitely new music. Absolutely.
Well, we definitely got to do music together.
Yo.
It's been, you've worked with some of the crew, but like, together. Like, Patrick, have you ever thought about writing a book? If you have written a book, I'm sorry, I did not know. But
no. Trust me. You haven't. Yeah, no. You are. That's a good question. I've been included in like anthologies before, like once or twice. But honestly, I have a block. It's a mental block. I probably need to work that out. Because I feel like my stuff is made to be heard as opposed to
right.
But that's not true. I just need to get my format. I need to get my presentation together. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that's part of that it's your mug block, that heathen, that unwashed heathen, that I was scared to flex my literary bona fides in front of so many great poets. You know what I mean? So I think it's going to happen.
Right. I mean, of course everybody would buy it, like, who's heard you. So it's definitely, well, sorry for putting it out there. Like, I was just wondering.
Oh no, put that
a lot of
there,
poets
man.
Put out books, so like,
man, speak it into existence, man. We had a couple of like old books, like little chapbooks that we put together, man. It was so long ago. There's one I looked at the other day, and I was like, it's fun. It's so tiny. I clearly had younger eyes at the time. Book, man. But yeah, man. Tell him, man. Say it twice, please. Patrick, write a book. Dare yourself, man, to do something interesting at this point. But shout out to Jason Reynolds, man, the superstar, young adult, literary master. Man. We know some greats, and yet there's still a shortage of people, man, who could write things that are interesting to the young ear, So, we may dabble, man, You know, plant those seeds,
that's
Joe.
real dope.
Plant those seeds. He's gonna come back. Yo, by the time we do the 2030 documentary, man, it's gonna be like, and then in 2021 during the pandemic, he told them.
Yo, by then you're gonna have a beard like Rick Rubin by then, yo.
Do you think you'll be playing DP for other bands in the future, or?
Yeah, man. That's one of the things that I've realized is I have a life goal of being, you know, an old musician. I want to be an old musician, you know. I want to roll down to a jam session, or I want to, you know, sit in with somebody. There used to be this cat that played with Outkast. His older brother, he sit on the stage and with a guitar, man. And that's what I'm talking. You know, man, just in the dark, in the corner, man. You know, adding some spice to somebody's whatever, man. And Patrick has a goal of being like the dude from Arrested Development, you know.
Why not? That was the best part of the song. You know, when you heard that joint, of course, man, I would play that throughout my DJ set. I play the whole thing, you know, before he started doing it. That's a very important part of the song.
Yeah, we just looped that part.
Hey, we did a show with them one time, man. What was that dude's name? Baba
OG.
Baba OG. Yeah, man. Yo, that cat was like it's weird. You know, I figured he'd be closer to M. Willie Ascari. Although Ascari had the same character, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where they had that Elder Baba vibe.
Right.
But, yo, these cats straight up, like, you know, kind of had like a you know, it was like a rootsy boho Dean Martin, man. This dude was like super suave and cool with it, you know. I feel like he had a young lady on his arm, man. I was like, yo, this dude is who knew? Who knew? You know, but at the end of the day, man, go ahead.
When you said Arrested Development, I was thinking, was that the same gig that freaking Joan Jett and the Black Hearts?
Wow.
Was that the same gig? It was a crazy gig.
Yeah. That could have been. It was a Rock the Vote.
It was at 9:30. It was a 9:30 club.
It was at 9:30 club. Yeah, we did a show with Joan Jett and her mobbed up band and managers, man. These cats was straight like Jersey, hey, you know, old heads like off like Sopranos extras.
Right.
And Arrested Development. Yeah, we did a show. What were the memorable shows, yo? Jill Scott, that was memorable. For a hot second, man, I saw myself in crochet pants, man. I was like, yo, man.
No. That wasn't Jill Scott. That was Erykah Badu.
Sorry, that was Erykah Badu.
That was Erykah Badu. It was us, Tony Blackman, and was it Samiani 24?
Yeah, Sam.
And it was Howard Homecoming at Lincoln Theater. And we was backstage, and I remember I saw that shit. I was watching, and you know how like the backstage hallway in Lincoln Theater is so small, and me and DP was going one way, and Erykah Badu was going the other, and like you know how they both got them eyes and shit, right? So they looked at each other just for a minute, and it was like a clash. It was like his fucking panther eye energy and her fucking. Boho fucking, incense energy was like clashing. And for about 5 seconds, they looked at each other and it was like, should I? Nah. And
then she wrote Next Lifetime.
There you go.
Nah, yo, man, it's interesting, man, because, we as a group, man, you would think, okay, yeah, Poem-cees and Arrested Development, I could see that. But man, yeah, we opened up for Cannabis one time. Yeah, we who else do we the Roots.
And Fugees.
That was actually, Roots, Fugees, and was there one other group on that? Yeah, that was a crazy bill. That was like University of Virginia.
Wow.
There's been some dicey situations, but I mean, I think that's always been one of our strengths, man. And is to, read the room and figure out how to communicate. That was, we were probably more known for our live show than for our recorded output. And it's because, we knew how to dissect the situation. It really wasn't like, take it or leave it. This is what we do. It was always like, all right, how can we like flip this where they don't really see it coming? Like, oh, you expect us to come out, ever in the world, you expect that, but then, we had the beatbox routines, we had it's a lot of different things, man.
I mean, that was very dope.
For example, wait a minute, I'm going to bring this one up. One time we got a call to perform. This gentleman asked us to perform at his synagogue.
Wow.
Hold on. So, we laughed, and he was like, I'm serious. And then he told us he could pay us, and we were like, bet, cool. So, he was like, it's for my men's day at my synagogue. So Patrick comes, picks me up, man. We drive to Potomac, Maryland. Yo, Joe, I bullshit you not. We pull up, and first off, we hit a traffic jam, and we were like, yo, what's up with this traffic jam? All of a sudden, we realized the whole traffic jam is turning into this giant building. The giant building is the synagogue where we're performing. We're like, oh, this is huge. So now, we get out, we pull up, we look at the front. There's literally armed guards outside of the synagogue, right? Because, I want to say around, this is post 9/11, not that far out. And that's just kind of how they guarded churches, or places of religion, that particular place of religion. So, man, me and Patrick are in the car, literally debating if we should just drive out of this parking lot and bounce. Because it's like, we're on over our heads, man. We said, all right, suck it up, man. Go in. We roll up in there, man.
Wait. On our way in, we're noticing though, the average age of the people entering, on average, is like 60.
And Harvey, the dude that booked us was the youngest dude there, and he probably had kids in college, So, he's like, he greets us. Oh, great, guys, I saw you at the event. This guy, we were like, Harvey, you sure? He was like, yeah, they're gonna allow you to fine. So, we still in there, had, no stereotype intended. Had phenomenal bagels and lox. I mean, it was, the spread was laid out. And, so, we crush our sandwiches that we made, bagels and lox and capers and, they're having these meetings where like, it's the men's group, the secretary will read the report from last month. And they read so we go through this whole thing. And now Harvey will introduce this thing that, I'm like, we're like, he didn't tell us what we're, so he comes up and he's like, yeah, saw these guys. It's going to be great. So Patrick and Daryl, again, Poem-cees. Poem-cees. So we go up on this stage and it's a room of about, really like, how many people are in that room, Patrick?
It was probably 200. There's probably 200 people in this room. 200
old men, and old white men. We did this set that we do for kids a lot. it was this thing, you know, that related to kids. So we do the whole set. We do it like we're at Madison Square Garden.
Okay.
And we finish, dun, 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 dun. And that's what, crickets. Everybody's just looking at us. So Harvey comes up, he's like, hey, so it was great. Now I guess we do a Q&A with the artists. Like, Q&A, what? So this old, like one of the oldest dudes, he raises his hand and they're like, okay, yeah, let him go to the mic. He goes to the mic, he takes the mic, takes him forever to get to the mic. They meet him halfway with the mic. He takes it and he's like, I want to know how long you've been looking in my window. And we were like, it's a we humiliated ourselves, and now it's a racial incident.
All right.
So we're just sitting up there. It's an uncomfortable silence. We don't know how to respond to that. And then, dude, because he had an incredible timing, long pause for effect, he goes, because everything you just talked about is going on in my life. And then all of a sudden, everybody just loosened up. They started lobbing questions at us, talking to us, man. They finished the Q&A, and then they all clapped. Nobody clapped when we finished. They finished the Q&A, man. We got a roaring round of applause.
Old applause.
I'm glad you told us this story. That's amazing. So you did get the applause you deserved.
Oh, dude, it was crazy. And then, the bugged out part is like, these old cats at the end, first they wouldn't let us go. And people are like, they put, it's like, they're quoting lines back to you. Hey, what was that one part that, you know how you said such a blah, blah, blah. Dissected the whole show. It was incredible. It was one of the greatest experiences of my life, man. Because, you talk about like, this can't possibly work. We straight up, we're looking at it, literally, we're in the parking lot, like, cats had no money at this time. So for us to think about like, just turn around and drive out of here, we could maybe walk in there and bomb heavy, but still like get a check. Like that was a real decision. I was kind of like, man, maybe we should just go. But instead it turned out, it was, that's the illest show. That's the illest show ever.
And that's what hip hop, that's hip hop.
That's hip hop.
Yeah, that is hip hop. I'm glad you shared that.
Yeah, man. It was always about like, look, man, I don't know if it's gonna work or not.
Right.
It's a comedian's attitude. It's like we kind of had a comedian's attitude to hip hop, where, man, there is you got to read the room.
Where can people find you on social media?
My personal, my personal, Facebook is my name. It's not Thomas Washington. That's my government name. That's my mama name. But Patrick Washington on Facebook. Dialect PG Poets on Instagram.
Yeah, Durrell Purry. DURLPURRY. Now that's not really the accurate, it's not, my family spelling of my name, but I was a bike messenger, as many of us rappers were. I was a bike messenger in DC for a good period of time. Shout out to Shamir, World of Light Music, my fellow bicycle messenger brother. And this is when you could just run into buildings in DC and deliver a package. You could like run into the Capitol sweaty and wearing a helmet, like, I don't know, something I saw a couple months ago. And but there was no federal charges behind it, right?
Right.
But what I discovered is one of the things that made me fall in love with DC is I would tell them, the security guards would stop you and say, hey, what's your name? And I'd say, Darrell Perry. And they'd say, what? Darrell Perry. Huh? DARR, I'd spell it. And they'd be like, oh, Darrell Perry. Okay, go ahead. And, it happened so many times. At one time, what's your name? Perry. Huh? Perry. What? And I said, Purry. Oh, and the lady wrote it down perfectly. And I was like, yo. So a long time ago, I decided, look, my artistic name is going to be Durrell Purry, because, you know, I'm here for the long haul. I've been here, and, you know, that's my little ode. That's my ode. I'm not a native, man, but that's my ode to the area. But, yo, man.
Go ahead.
Hey, I was going to say, yo, shout out to Stan Lathan and Camila Forbes for, you know, for the Deaf Poetry platform. I mean, we didn't touch on that, you know, but, yo, collectively, Patrick was on, well, yo, literally, Patrick was on Deaf Poetry 3 times. And we as a 2 of those times were us as a duo. And really that platform, you know, gave us gigs, man. It led us to, you know, first a couple tours. Yeah, we were blessed to sort of fall into this, you know, we would craft pieces for occasions. You know, it was like, you know, being commissioned to do a painting. You know, that led us to do a piece for the opening of the Martin Luther King Memorial, which is the biggest crowd we ever performed in front of. You know, I want to say there was, you know, it was how many people? Yeah, it was like 50. It was at least 50 to 100,000 people out there that day. And yo, one last story, if I can, because I said the synagogue was the illest gig, but yo, the Martin Luther King Memorial was the illest like situation I've ever been in, because you know they don't typically call people like us for a gig like that. Right. So and usually when you got a big gig like that, whether it be, you know, Deaf Poetry, you're all kind of in the same room, you know, so that was cool. You know, you sit in the back, most deaf, you know, sitting out, you go out in the alley, have a cigarette, man, chop it up by the dumpsters, you know. But yo, for this Martin Luther King Memorial thing, strangely, they did not separate the famous people from the unfamous people. So yo, we walk in the joint, and it was instantly like, you know, hey,
the tent backstage.
We walk in this backstage tent. They walked us in, they opened this, they pulled the flap back, you walk in, and it was like, hi, Dan Rather. Hi, Tommy Hilfiger. Hi, Sweet Honey in the Rock. Hi, Mary. Hi,
Cicely Tyson.
Oh yeah. Dude, I got a big hug from Cicely Tyson when we came off stage. Yo, man, I'm talking like, at one point, and our tent had the food. So we're sitting there, all of a sudden the flap flies open, and John Lewis pokes his head in the tent, and he's like, oh yeah, food's in here, come on. And he pulls Jesse Jackson, and him and Jesse Jackson come in and start housing the food. Yeah, hey, what's up, brothers? How y'all doing? You know, I mean, we're literally sitting there like, yo, this is pretty much not possible. Yo, Al Sharpton was on that like that like, hey, I'm Al minus 80 pounds status that he's on right now. So his dome was, you know, and yo, Dick Gregory popped in.
Yeah, start cracking jokes. Yeah,
cracking jokes. I mean, dude, we're sitting there just like, yo, man, this is bonkers, man. You know, so yo, shout out to Stan and Camila for pulling us in, because we're not going to get that experience if we didn't have the bona fides of, you know, the Deaf Poetry, you know, national platform.
Yeah. And where did Camila start? U Street.
Where did Camila start? U Street. She's in that picture in front of the Lincoln Theater, man, and now she's running the Apollo. You know, I have hopes. I've been a selfless promoter of other people, and I wish that, you know, we had that one, like, boom, you know, we needed one, like, we had the rocket ship breakout artists, just didn't happen for whatever reason. Right. And that could have brought the scene up to a different, you know, level. But having been in all these different situations around various high caliber artists, around, you know, what were those youngins from England? The two, we did Def Poetry with them, Patrick. The singer, songstress and the Flowetry, right? Flowetry. Clearly, that was one of those deals where it was like, hey, Flowetry, meet the Poem-cees. Poem-cees, meet Flowetry, you know, and they were like hot. They were hot. So it was kind of like, you know, hey, it's nice to meet you. Yeah, we do our thing. It's never failed. You know, we got to do, we did our thing. And it was like, yo, man, caliber. So I'm comfortable with what we've done. Right. Largely because, you know, and because we tested it on people that have made it to that upper stratosphere. So that's one side of it. And I'm also comfortable with my peers, man, with y'all, you know, with everybody who was on U Street, man, really crafting works, man, because, you know, I mean, it's not like we were on another universe from anybody else, man. It was just a rack of dope bammers, is basically how you would put it.
Yeah. And thank you, man. You know, thank you for that Amphbns, you know, family love, and for, you know, always
you guys have been family
feeding us
since day one. So it's like, you know, we want to put that out there. We want to put that energy that was out there, like I said. And of course, inspire the youth as well. We want them to, of course, make it better than us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At least, like, you know, acknowledge of what was going on then and being inspired to do the next. Like I said, Poem-cees, you guys need to check out Poem-cees. They're no joke.
Oh yeah! Shout out to DJ Stylist.
DJ Stylist, yes. I'm actually going to interview him in a separate joint.
Do that.
Convos. So where can people still purchase the CDs or like stream it somewhere?
BANDCAMP.
Streaming now, like, you know.
Yeah. I mean, we're everywhere at this point, I think. And by everywhere, I mean, you know, you won't have to look too hard. Definitely on YouTube. Mm-hmm. Everything's on BANDCAMP at this point. Okay. And Spotify, et cetera, you know. So
people can,
it's out there.
For people that hasn't heard,
you know, I would say
you get the chance to hear.
You got to find the Poem-cees, Poem-cees.
No.
This is a test of the emergency poetical lyricism system. In the event that the radio isn't feeding your mind, body, and soul, step up to the audio buffet that the Poem-cees are now serving for you, and you, and you, and you. Please, no shoving. You may commence head nodding now.
Testing, who got the best thing? Natural law, naturally be the bebop. You got less swing guessing. Stop front, start confessing.